Yevuzalo. Right, what's Boz Yevuzalo? Right, it says, the Gemara says that if Doeg and Achitoph would have known this pasuk, they wouldn't have pursued David. Because even if we say Aver Mechaber Mitzvah, that if you do a mitzvah, you do an Avera, you're able to extinguish the mitzvah, but Torah cannot be extinguished. Inside the pasuk, Yisher Shirim, Maim Rabin lo yuchulu lechabo sa'avo, unoras lo yishtafua, im yitein odem's kol home beso, ba'avo, it says, Boz Yevuzalo, you should even disgrace yourself. Meaning you should disgrace yourself on behalf of Torah. So what is that referring to? Amr Ula lo Shimon Achi Azario v'lo Reb Yochanan v'Nusio. Shimon Achi Azario. Shimon was the brother. His first Mishnah in Zvochim that Shimon had a brother Azari, was a businessman, and he supported him, and he didn't have any financial issues because his brother supported him. Reb Yochanan was supported by the Beit Nusiyah, by the Nosi, and he was able to sit and study without any financial distraction. So therefore, he didn't have to really sacrifice himself. He wasn't denied. Who denied themselves? Elihil v'shavno. Elihilel v'shavno. We'll see in a moment. What? Well, we'll see in a moment. We'll see in a moment what happened with Hillel and Shavno. Hil v'Shavno. Shavno was Hillel's brother. The Chiyoser Avdimi Oma Hil v'Shavno Achi Habu. They were brothers. Hil and Shavno, they were brothers. Hil Osk Batorah. Shavno Ovad Isko. So ultimately, initially he learned, but when things were getting difficult, he chose to go to work, to engage in business. Oma Lei. So when he said to Hillel, Shavno said to his brother Hillel, Naro v'Lifrok. Let's make a partnership. Meaning, I'll handle your finances, and I'll be a partner in your Torah. That's what Shavna said to his brother Hillel. Yotze Basko. You hear this? V'omra im yitein odo ish es kol heim beiso. Even if man's willing to give you all the wealth for this house, don't exchange it. I mean, Hillel, that he studied, as the Gemara tells us in Yuma, that he couldn't pay the fee, he went on the roof. That's his level of his sacrifice for Torah. The Baskol says, your Torah is at a special level. It pays, and you should disgrace yourself for Torah. Even though you're being denied, it has a different dimension of Torah.
Is this the same Hillel?
Hillel is okay. This is Hillel. Rashi says, Hillel osik b'Torah b'toch oni rav kin b'forish b'mesachas Yuma. Quotes the Gemara in Yuma. As the Gemara says, he chopped a little wood every day, gave half of the coin to his wife, and the other half he paid the entrance fee. Okay? Lady became a Nasi. He wanted to Yisachar Zvulun, make it Yisachar Zvulun. So the Baskol says no. If a person doesn't need a Zvulun, he shouldn't take the Zvulun. The Baskol said Hillel should not take a Zvulun. The little bit he earned, he should do it on his own, he shouldn't take a Zvulun. Well, that's always. He says, let's divide. That's always Zvulun in Yisachar, dividing. I mean, Rabbi Yochanan, evidently Rabbi Yochanan was supported by the Bnei Nusiyah. No, Rabbi Yochanan was also. The Bnei Nusiyah, the Nazi, valued Rabbi Yochanan that he supported him. But you had Hillel, and the verse is Hillel, and he wasn't Boz Yevusu. Rabbi Yochanan wasn't Boz Yevusu. As great as Rabbi Yochanan was, he was not at that level that Hillel was at. Because Hillel disgraced himself and was willing to persevere despite his financial, material deprivation. Did it make a difference? Okay?
Shavna helping Hillel all along, and
He didn't help him all along.
They're separate. They're just separate till the end, until one on Torah.
Yeah, Shavna started off like Hillel also. When things got tough, he decided to go to business.
So he wasn't supporting him like the other.
No, not at all. Not at all. He asked, and then the Baskol said, don't do it.
Right. Thank you.
But it seems if not for the Baskol, Hillel would have considered it. Right? Because Hillel himself didn't really understand what the value of his Torah was, learning it in a deprived state. Okay, Omi Ben Azai, Chayvod Lamed as Bito Torah. Ben Azai says a person should teach his daughter Torah. Why? Because she should know that this Schus Toler, that the Schus is Toler. Reb Lezo Mekam Lamed is Bito Torah Ki'ila Melamdo is Melamdo Tiflus. So tiflus, you teach your daughter Torah. Tiflus means it's something which is bordering on promiscuity. Tiflus, something which is iniquity. Teaching Torah is iniquity. Elo emo kilu lam the tiflus. It's the equivalent of that. Of course, the Torah teaches Torah, but because what it could bring to, therefore it's the equivalent of the why. Amr my taimo, the Rebbe Lezer. Why does Rebbe Lezer say, express it so extremely? The chsiv ani chochma. What's the pasuk? Ani chochma. Rega. What's the pasuk? Ani chochma shachati ormo das mezimos emtso. Yeah? Ormo means cunning. There's a certain cunningness. Ani chochma shachati ormo kevot shenichnos chochma be'odom nichse imo armumis. You hear this? The moment a person has wisdom of Torah, he has a certain cunningness. He has a certain way to deal with things in a certain way.
To get around it.
V'rabbonan hayni chochma ma'avdilei miboy lech Rabbi Yossi b'Chanina Damri Yossi b'Chanina in Divrei Torah miskayim el mishem ma'amid atzmo orim aleim. You hear this? That you're willing to even forego your clothing for the sake of Torah. That means that's the level of sacrifice you're willing to make. That person has the capacity to acquire Torah. Shenemar ani chochma shechanti ormo. When do you have chochma? Shechanti ormo. When are you the base kibul? Are you the vessel for Torah? That even you're willing, person. I haven't bought a suit in 25 years. That kind of person, he's the one he's the vessel for Torah. Amr Rabbi Yochanan Divrei Torah Mizkayim El Misha Meisam Atzmo Kimo Kimisha Eno. You hear this? You learn as if your physicality, you don't exist. All that matters is the Torah itself. Shenemar HaChochma Ma'ayin Timtzo. You hear this? Chochma, it's Ma'ayin. If it's Ayin, if you consider yourself nothing, then it's Timtzo, you're going to find Torah. But if you're going to value yourself, and that's going to be the holdback, you're not going to find Torah. One second. This is the what's the name? This is your guide to Motzos Tamin, the morning Megillah, right? Your Gata Motzos Tamin. If you toil in Torah and you come upon it, you believe that person. And if you did not come upon it, you don't believe. Why? Because that's an indication you didn't toil sufficiently. You didn't toil sufficiently. Rabbi Shua Omer Rotze Isho. Rabbi Shua says that a woman would prefer kav of food and the rest tiflus, rather than tisha kabim uprishus. My komar hochem Rotze Isha bekav tiflus mi imo mi tisha kam prishus. So Tosas explains in Rashi, the different types of professions. A person has a conjugal obligation to his wife. Let's say a person is a mule driver. So his obligation is, let's say, once a week, but he earns less money. A person who's a camel driver, it's once a month. And because his profession is much more dangerous, he earns more. He'll bring more support to the family, material support. The woman would prefer to have the mule driver because the husband could engage with her sexually more than the husband who's going to bring a larger paycheck home. So that's Isha B'Kav Tiflus, even though she's getting less material, but she has that sexual attention rather than Tisha Kabin Precious, where she's denied that. Who are you, Omer? Chosid Shoter. What's a Chosid Shoter? You hear this? Chosid Shoter. It's not a guy who breaks windows. You understand? Guy goes with protest down with the Iranians on Times Square. That's not a Chosid Shoter. Heichi Dami, even though it's the same type of person. Even though it's the same person. Yeah. What's a chosid shoter? Could go in the kotov itza benora. A woman is drowning in the river. He says, if I go save her, I have to look at her, let her drown. Right? But Tosa says, what's a chosid shoter? A person is wearing his tefillin, and there's a child, a baby, drowning in the river. And he's literally, he has his last gasp of breath. He says, I first have to take off my tefillin before I go into the river to save the child. By the time he finishes taking off his tefillin, the child drowns. That's a chosid shoter. What are you talking about? Pekuach nefesh. Hechidomi Rosh Orum then says, these people are destroyers of the world. Chosid shoter is one of the destroyers of the world. What's a Rosh Orum? This is a cunning Rasha. That means he conceals his evil. Outwardly he appears to be a tzaddik, but under that cloak of righteousness, self-righteousness, there's evil, a lot of evil there. Rabbi Yochanan zu amatim dvorov l'dayim kodem sheyovo baldin chavero. as they say, a person goes and he presents his case to the dayan before the other person comes. So whoever makes the first impression, that's what resonates by the judge. To undermine the other person. Okay, that's a Rosh Oram. He made sure to be there first to be able to influence the judge that now he's biased. Rabbi Omer, you hear what this is? What kind of bad guy this is? Person who's an oni, you're eligible, let's say, for assistance. You get like Chichul Peyo, you get Maisa Oni, but if you have $200 to your name, so if a person has $199 to his name, he's eligible to get a $1,000 check of Maisa Oni. The moment you get that extra dollar, not even eligible for a penny. So this guy, what does he do? He knows the guy, man's worth $199. He says, I won't help you. I'll give you $1. The moment he gives him that $1, he's excluded from all the rights. That's a Rosh Oram. You hear what? Here he's acting like he's doing the man a favor, but the man he's burying the man. Right? If you're worth 200 zuz, you're not eligible for lek shikvei. These are the gleanings that are left for the poor. If he had 199, literally he was nearly there. Right? Because the afil of dino nos lokachas. He could even get $1,000 allocation of Maisa Oni. Hareza Yitol, he has a right to take it. Rabbi Omer Rabbi Yochanan is amesi eitzel limkon mechosim watin. The halacha is, let's say a man lives in the state and he has unmarried daughters, and he has sons. So the sons on the Torah level, they're the heirs of daughters. But factually, the Tanai Ksuba says that the daughters get 1/10 of the estate. If there's mechosim watin, if there's very few assets, so who's the first to take? The daughters. And even though there'll be nothing left for the sons, it doesn't make a difference, right? But what happens if the person goes and preempts the daughters and sells off the properties? Once the properties are sold, the daughters are left high and dry. They get nothing. So somebody advises the son. Father died. He's not alive anymore. This is the estate. It's a small estate. Somebody advises sons, you know something, you want to be smart, just sell it off. Because the moment you sell it, they have no claim. So what kind of advice is that? That's a Rosh Oram. Through your evil, you deny the daughters who have a right to it. Okay? The Omer of Asim Ryochen Yusam Shekodmu Mochru bin Chosim Watin Masha Mochru Mochru. It's a valid sale, and there's no recourse. You can't take recourse. Omar Abaye Omer Zamesi Eitzel Limkom Nechosim Grib Shimon Ben Gamliel Tanya Nechosim Nechasai Loch. Person gives something. My assets are to you. V'achrechel the Ploni. And after you, meaning after you die, it goes to the third party. The Yorad Harishon Mochar. Hear this? Hear what he did? A man gives something to Ruvain that when he passes on, it goes to a third party. That's the way the gift is given. What happens? So what happens if Ruvain goes and sells it in his lifetime? So when he dies, it's not part of his estate. So it doesn't go to the third party. So he's going to preempt the original condition. So Nechosei Loch V'achrechel Leploni. V'yora Rishon U'mochar. V'ochel Hasheni, Motzi B'yad HaKluchis, Divrei Rebbe. Yeah? So you take it away from the ones who bought it. Reb Shimon Le'omer Ein L'sheni Al Mashashir Rishon. The second one only has what the first one left over. He left nothing. You know what he gets? He gets nothing. Rav Yosef Bechomar Omar Rav Sheshe Zamachriya Acherim B'Orchosov. So Rashi says, no, a person shows himself as if he's special, as if he's righteous, but factually, as a result of this, he presents like a chosid. Hear this. You know, you say something, this person is that. How can you say that? The man stands for 3 hours. He was a gartel. He only eats glatt kosher, and he only this, and he only goes to a hotel where they don't eat gebrach some peso. He did that. You know why he's doing all that? That's just to conceal what he really is. You understand? That's a Rosh Oram. He's a man who's conniving and strategizing. Everything's planned out to mislead people that they shouldn't be able to understand who truly is. It's a cover-up. Well, the others, he's over the, maybe even see the Michshol. All the things he did before. Advise people wrongly to do the wrong thing. Or a man goes and, what about if indirectly I cause you tremendous financial loss. Hey, a man's a poor man, he's eligible for certain things. It's really the evil. It's not even the act. No, but a person has a trait, he doesn't act on it, is one thing. But here, that trait manifests itself by harming people. So he's a mazik. This is not just accidentally, Adam Mud Lolam. But this is not Adam Mud Lolam. This was planned, and he's perpetrating his evil over here. You know, it's like a person, it's the thrill, it's because he wants to hurt people. I mean, you have Bilam, Zayin Ro, right? He's a bad guy. If it has no value, you can't say it. You have to have what's his name. If there's two else, of course you can say it. Stay away from the guy. The guy's a bad guy. You want to take my word for it? Check it out yourself. You look at him long enough, you pick him up. Yeah. Bezdin can give Malchus for this. Yeah, but as they said, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. The man's not changing. The man is really, he's evil. He's an evil person. Hear this? A person learned Chumash, learned Mishnah, but he's not well baked. Meaning, he appears to be a Talmud Chacham, but he's not a Talmud Chacham. Because he did not have sufficient mentoring, which we're talking about the Torah Shabbat Peh, the Gemara, to elucidate the Mishnah. Therefore, he's going to offer wrong rulings. Yeah. So he says many things, Rashi. Very often you have a Mishnah, you have Yochid V'Ramalocha Karabi. Or there's certain things, Reb Yehuda, Reb Shimon, we rule like Reb Yehuda. There's certain rules. He knows the Mishnayos, but he doesn't know how to rule. So he'll say, well, I think it's this, but it's baseless. Because why? Because Loshim Chachomim. He didn't have mentoring exactly how to deal with it. You know, in Halacha, a person who's a posek, most of them, it's called you have shimush. Meaning you have experience. You're under somebody's tutelage, and you observe him, and he directs you and advises you exactly how to rule in different situations. But if you don't have that experience, it doesn't mean you don't have the sensitivity to know how to rule. That's lo shimish chachomim. Baron Wein, on one of his tapes, he has a history series. He tells over a story that in Valozhin, the person that was the caretaker, he swept up, he kept order, he used to clean up the yeshiva. So he used to give what was the basis of his knowledge? Because he used to walk around the base, he used to pick up tidbits of Torah information. Yeah? So he used to give a shir in Ein Yaakov, the Balabatim, in the shul in Valozhin. There was a shul for regular Balabatim. So he was considered to be a great Talmud Chacham because he knew more than they. But what was the basis of his information? Because he swept the basement. As he walked by, he heard the boys talk. He would enter a conversation with the students. So he picked up a little bit. So he's giving a shir in Ein Yaakov. And in Ein Yaakov, he also says Rashi's commentary on the side. It's on the Garata. So he looks in this, can't find Pshat. He says, you see, when you need Rashi, he's not there for you. That's his understanding, you know? When you need him, he's not there. Okay. Itmar, we learned. A person who learned Chumash, learned Mishnah, but he wasn't mentored. He didn't have sufficient experience to be taught Torah Shabbat Peh, the Gemara. That's not Moritz. You can know Shisha Sidru Mishnah by heart, but you're not Moritz. Amoritz. Tanakh, you're not Moritz. Reb Shuma Nachmayim Harizeh Bur. Bur is less than an Amoritz. Bur is like you're an uncouth person. Rabbi Yanayim Harizeh Kusi. Like a Kusi means the laws of, if he touches your wine, you're not permitted to drink the wine. He's worried. He's at that level. Rav Achbar Yaakov Harizeh Magush. You hear this? He has the status of like a witch, like a sorcerer. So Rashi says, Mechashev ha'oches is enayim because why is he like? What is a witch? Is a sorcerer? He says oches is enayim. It's sleight of hand. You appear like you pull rabbits out of the hat, right? But the whole thing is sleight of hand. The man appears to be a Talmud Chacham, but he's not. Right? He quotes this and that. Sounds like pulpit rabbis, in the United States. They're all magushim. They're a bunch of bachashim. It's a known fact. It's a known fact. It's a known fact. Mizrahi, because I grew up with this, all Mizrahi shuls, like, they didn't have rabbonim, you know that. There was no rabbi in the shul. They would invite people to see Shurim shul, but there was no Rav. Who was the Rav? The people themselves. They were all observant. They made the decisions, what, when, and where. Never consult. Maybe they would consult, but there was no Rav in the shul he had to say. That was Mizrahi upon Mizrahi. There was no fact. Omar Abdachbar Yitzchok, Mistabra Kuravacha by Yaakov. The Omar, Inchi Rotten Migusha Lo Yoda. He says, Chove Chover. This is what we call Chove Chover. Personally, he has all kinds of incantations. Like, you know, he speaks a good game. You know, he used to tell over a famous story. They had this Rav, he applied for a job, this rabbi. So he had to meet the committee, so they interviewed him. So they say to him, by the way, who won the World Series in 1946? Immediately. Who hit the winning run? Immediately. Interrogated for an hour, they were just amazed. Oh, by the way, what's next week's parsha? Look, you guys got to give me a break. You understand? This is the bagush. Talks a good game. When it comes down to it, there's nothing there. The Gemara says above Mitzvah that Isra will ginish kishish karya. That a coin in an empty can makes a lot of noise. You have a full can full of coins, you shake it, it doesn't make noise. An empty can, you have that one coin, it rattles, makes noise. Same thing. He knows Mishni could quote psukim, but substance, he has no substance. Okay? Sounds familiar, right? Unfortunately. Mayomer, Tonet Lo Yoda Mayomer. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He quotes and he says and whatever it is, but in actuality, Tonet Abona Zoam Oretz, Koshin Kore, Kriyashma, Shachus, Varvis, B'Yechoseh, Dirameir. This person's Amoretz, he does not say Kriyashma in the morning, even with his brachos. Doesn't say it. That's not Amoretz. The Vadai, Enu Yodea Klum, Avodea Likros, V'Kore, Lo Amoretz. He said this. Minimally, if he could say Kriyashma, he's not Amoretz. But if he's so illiterate, so ignorant, doesn't even say Shema. Remember many years ago, this person's still not married, even though today he's 60, he's going 69. So he once took out a girl on the Lower East Side. The story goes back to 1970. And I knew the parents. He was a fine man. And he was at the shul where this person davened during the week. And he sees the father speaking during Birchas Kriyashma. He was a fine man, the man. Didn't know. So he comes to me, this guy, he says, I should go with his daughter. The man is such an Amoritz, he doesn't even know you're not supposed to speak during Birchas Kriyashma. You understand? So that was his response. But the Gemara Meir says, no, if he is able to say Shema, he's not an Amoritz. Less than that, he can't even say the Shema, then he's an Amoritz. I'm just telling you, but that was his comment. That's who's not married. You think that was the reason? Cake? You know, it was the cake. It was the dessert. It was the dessert. Cake. He's still looking for the dessert. Person doesn't put on tefillin, he's not moritz. He doesn't value it. You know, he doesn't see the value wearing tzitzis. He doesn't feel it's important to educate his children in Torah. Even a person learned, he knows Tanakh, he knows Mishnah, but he doesn't have an understanding of the Mishnayos. Zamoritz. If you know Tanakh, but you didn't learn Mishnah, then you're a bore. That's less than Amoritz. Lo Korav Lo Shana, but neither. Akosav Omer Olav Akosav Omer, Vizarati Space Yisrael, Space Yuda, Zera Odom, Vizera Behema. There are two types of seeds. The Zera Odom, it's a Behema. You hear this? A person doesn't even know Pasuk Chumash. You know what he is? He purely follows his instinct, instinctively. What's right, what he feels is right. He has no idea what's right. It's like an animal, like a Behema. Shlomo says, Yiros Hashem b'ni, umelech im shonim al tisorov. What does this mean? My son, fear God, umelech v'im shonim al tisorov. There you go. Yiras Hashem b'ni v'melech im shonim al tisarov. Omer Rav Yitzchok, elu shishonim halochus. Yeah. It's referring to what? Yirei Hashem es b'ni melech v'im shonim. Don't intermingle with shonim. The word shonim comes from the word Mishnah. Those who study Mishnah don't have to do with these people. Because you think you're impressed, they may know, but they know nothing. They don't know anything. No. Rashi says, no, because shonim haloch shelo shimshul tamid chachamim. Like bidu al tamiyah mishnah. They don't even know the reasons. Okay? They don't have a true grasp of understanding what the Mishnah is actually saying. So unless it's understood, you have to tell me. I need Shlomo have to tell me that. Mal the same. Shonin bechet. No, because you think maybe shonin means those who repeat a chet. Right? People who are repeated offenders, who violate the Torah, stay away from those people. Now, he's not talking about people who know Mishnahs, who don't have a full understanding of the Mishnah. Kidrafun amarav, we had this Gemara Kedushin. Domarav kevit shava odam aveiro v'shonabo, person, a repeated offender, huchelo, the Gemara says naslo keter. First time, you have a conscience. You do it a second time, you have no conscience any longer when you do the wrong thing. Kamash malon, that what does shona mean? Don't be associated with people who learn Mishnayos who never have shinish chachamim. They don't. Tono, hatanoim mavli olam. Yeah, the tanoim are they're the destroyers of the world. Versus mavli olam so gedaitoch. Omer Avino shemorin halochem mitoch Mishnah. Doesn't mean that tanoim. Meaning they use the tanoim. All they know is what the words of the tanoim, but they don't have an understanding. These people are the destroyers of the world. You know, it's interesting. Many years ago, I had a Shiloh. We have time, so we'll finish it. A certain person came to ask me in Shiloh that this woman, his wife went to Harvard Law, and she had a best friend, a Jewish woman. She was marrying an Armenian in a church in Cape Cod in the summertime. You hear this? So he asked me, could his wife go to the wedding in the church in Cape Cod? I said, under no circumstance. No circumstance whatsoever. I'm permitted to go into the church. It's a friend, it's this, it's that. Okay? A few months later, I said to him, whatever happened? Did she go? She went. I said, what'd she go? She went and she consulted with a certain rabbi. I'm not going to mention names. And the rabbi said, not only it's a mitzvah to go. Why? Because Rabbi Yoshe Ber, I'll tell you, this is exactly what we're talking about. Because if you don't have a mind that's trained to understand what halach is, you'll take black and white, say, well, they're both colors, they're similar. So Rabbi Yoshe Ber, there was a Shiloh, there was a question, a certain family, their daughter married out. So they asked Rabbi Yoshe Ber Soloveitchik, and the daughter wants to come to the Seder. Could she bring her non-Jewish husband? That was the question they asked Rabbi Soloveitchik. So Rabbi Yoshe Ber says, you understand, we're hoping ultimately it's going to break up. It's going to break up, this marriage. But if you alienate her now, even they break up, she's not coming home. She's not coming back. So you should do whatever you can to bring her close. Let the goy come. Let him come. Because hopefully they'll break up, but at least you have a relation with your daughter. That's what he said. You understand? So he did a leap. So you see, it's a mitzvah to go to the church and befriend her because of you understand? This is Mavlei Olam. These are the destroyers of the world. You take that, if you strike a match, why can't you take a match and put it to dynamite? Why can't you put it to dynamite? If I could strike the match and light the wick on the candle, why can't I light the stick of dynamite? You understand? This is Mavlei Olam. Because they were never trained, they have no understanding what halach is.
Yeah. Would be saying even if it wasn't in a church, you wouldn't go to a wedding like that.
Besides, I'm just saying, it's like, this is, they have on prescriptions, do not share your medication with anyone else. Well, it sounds like you have what have you, I have extra, you could use my medication. What do you understand? Do you understand what the nature of the illness is? You have no understanding what it is. It's about the same thing. Okay? That's why I don't go into the kitchen with him. When Howard's there, I don't mix. Okay. Tanya Yocham Rabbi Yeshua, V'chimav le'olamein, v'lo miyashvi olamein, the Tanoim, shenema halichos olam lo. They established the ways of the world, the Tanoim. Elo shemor halochem mitoch mishnos. These people are the ones, not the Tanoim themselves. They utilize the position Tanoim, not understanding what they're actually saying. Isha Prusha, it says a woman who's removed from physicality, she is a destroyer of the world. What is this? Torabona besula tzailonis. See this? What is this? A virgin, all that she does, she prays all day. Almona shovovis, a widow who visits people. She goes around visiting different people. Koch lokolush chadosha, we'll see. And a child who did not live, was not fully developed, and he died. Haril mavliol. These three types of people, that destroys it with marzinik. How could you tell me? V'omer Rav Yochanan lamadu yiras chet mi besula. You know this? I learned yiras chet. To what degree you have to fear sin from a virgin who prayed in a special way. V'kibul schar mi almona, and how to understand value of schar from the almona. What was this story? Yiras chet. Yiras chet mi besula. Rav Yochanan shamet lo besula denofo apo. You know this? He goes to shul in his neighborhood, and he hears a virgin, a young woman. She's prostrate and she's praying. Listen, ukamra, ribonu shalom. This is a tefillah. Barosa Gan Eden, Barosa Gehenim. You've created Gan Eden, you created Gehenim. Barosa Tzadikim, so they're going to Gan Eden. Barosa Rishoim, evil, and they're going to Gehenim. Doesn't mean you created Rishoim because first time it's Bechira, right? Kol B'Disham Chutz. Mean the ability to choose to become a Rasha, you created that reality. Yirosum Fanechosh Li Koshlu Bibnei Odom. She was evident she was an attractive woman. I'm asking you that you should give me Siyat Ishma. Nobody should chas v'sholem. As a result of me, they should fail. Said, so you see, he learned Yiras Chet. You hear what kind of Yiras Chet? She was a modest woman, but she was praying Hashem should protect. She should not be the cause of other people failing. Kibul schar mi almono, dahi almono, davi bekinishta b'shvusek. Here, there was this widow. He had a shul in his neighborhood. He had a shul in his neighborhood, Rabbi Yochanan. Davu almono ha'avoy bekinishta b'shvuso. But this almona, she had a shul in her own neighborhood. You hear this, Howard? You hear this? He had a shul in his neighborhood. She came to his shul. She had a shul in her own neighborhood. Kol yoma hava asya matzl be midrashe de Rabbi Yochanan. Every day she would come to Rabbi Yochanan. I mean, she had to go out of her way, and she came this one, right? Rabbi Omar lobiti lobeisa knesset b'shvuosech. Don't you have a shul in your own neighborhood? What do you have to come here for? Omar le says, Rebbe. Schar psios yeshli? Yeah, he says, but I have schar psios at the paces. Since there's a longer distance, so I'm making a greater effort to do a mitzvah. Yes, so when she said that, it resonated with him. It's unbelievable. To the degree that she values schar mitzvah. So, what do you tell me? Psula, Mavli Olam, and the Almona. Is Mavli Olam, they destroy the world. These people, they bring the world to another level. Ki komakon, yochni barativi. You're this. There was this woman, she was a witch. She was a sorceress. And what she used to do, women who were about to give birth, she would cast on a spell that the woman in labor, she couldn't deliver. So she would go to the woman, hear this, and she says, I'm going to pray for you. And what would she do? She went and she released the spell. And so people thought she was a great tzaddikas. The reason why she was able, and people would give her money, and they would praise her and everything else. But ultimately, she was a bad woman. She was a marshas, okay? So therefore, and eventually, Rashi says that one time this person walked into her house and heard like noise, like something clanging, and he realized, and he opened it up, and once he opened it up, the woman gave birth immediately. So that was the cat out of the bag. They found out what her whole trick was. Mm-hmm. So they exposed her. My cotton shlo, what is a cotton? A minor who's not fully developed. This is what we call a person who goes into kiruv who's wet behind the ears, right? Half baked. He says they interpret this Talmud Chochem. He bolted from his Rebbeim. He doesn't accept. He says, I have my own understanding of Judaism. You don't tell me what Judaism is. You know. Once had a case. I once gave a shir in a certain office many years ago, Ramchal, and it was in this person's building, and this guy. He's the chairman of the board. The guy's worth, and today's worth billions and billions. He's a Jewish guy, second wife, trophy wife of Shiksa. And so David Tesla says to Mr. So-and-so, would you like to come join the shir? It was in his boardroom right next to his office. He had a cigar, must have been about 18 inches long between his teeth. He says, I spent 12 years at Ramaz. I had enough. And he walked back into his office. You understand? Okay. This kat kodshel kolu chadoshav. What's that? Tam Chacham Avait, I know enough. I know enough what Judaism is. That's why he divorced his Jewish wife, married a Shiksa. Rababam is a Tam Chacham Shlagilo Ro Mora. That's a half-baked, that's like a child is never developed. A person who goes halfway and he thinks he's a great Tam Chacham. There's a famous story, in Europe, when they would send a student away from yeshiva, they would write a letter, so he should be accepted in another yeshiva. So the letter was, this is why he's being sent away from the yeshiva. Could you please accept in this other yeshiva? And they would give him car fare to go to the next yeshiva. That's what was done in Europe. You don't just take a person, send him out in the street, and not be concerned about him. So this person was a meshulach. This is in the 30s. He goes to Wichita, Kansas. Every town had a shul, Orthodox rabbi, European, and he's waiting, and he has his smicha, smicha displayed on the wall. He takes a look. The letter that when he was thrown out of Tells, that was the smicha on the wall. Did the people know the difference? That was the letter where they sent him explaining why he was being thrown out, and the Southern Yeshiva should accept it. That was the letter on the wall. What do the people know? This is Wichita, Kansas, 1935, whatever it was. It's the same thing. Understand? This is a person, it's Talmud Shlagilo Ro Mora. Domer Rav Omer Rav Yochanan, Domer Rav Huna Rav Maidich Siv Ki Rabim Chalolim Hipilo. Many casualties he brought about. Atzumim Kol Harugeo. And the victims are overwhelming. Ki Rabim Chalom Hipilo is the Talmud Chacham Shlagilo Ro. You this? Umora. A Talmud Chacham was not qualified to rule any rules. Many casualties. People, Nida, Shabbos, everything under the sun. Well, what's that? Even more serious. A person who's qualified and he chooses to be otzum, to be closed up. Closes up, Rashi says. Where is it? Loshen otzim einav. It's like he turns a blind eye. Turns a blind eye. I can't be busy with these people. Bat kamo. Worse, it's worse. What is that? Up to 40 years old. You're 40 years old, you're ready, should be well-weathered, mature enough to be able to be there. Marzini, Rabba it comes from the house of Eli. We have the Rosh Hashanah. They pass away normally at the age of 20. Because Rabba had Torah. Torah, he lived till 40. Abaye, he had Torah, he lived till 60. So if his whole life was 40 years, Rabba was opposing. So what do you mean? 40, then you qualify to rule. Rabba passed away at 40. Rabba was the Gadol Ador, right? So Mara says, Ori B'Shavin. That's only if you have two people of equal age. One more than 40, one less than 40. The person is 40 should be the one who rules. But if the one who's, let's say, the one who's less is greater than the more than 40, then he's the one who should rule. Okay. Torah Shiva Prushin. There's 7 people who remove themselves. You'll hear in a moment. There's Porush Shichmi. The Gemara will explain it. Porush Nakvi. Porush Kizoi. Porush Meduchia. Porush Machovosi. Vesenu. Porush Mi'ava. Porush Mi'iro. These various types of Purushim, they're destroyers of the world. You hear this? They destroyers of the world, these people. What's Porush Shichmi? Shechem. What's that? Shechem, they were circumcised. Why did they circumcise themselves? Because they wanted the daughters of Yaakov, the wives. Right? That's a person, whatever he does. So the whole thing's a charade. He acts like a great tzaddik. What is it? Because he wants to get mileage. People should, whatever it is. Porush Nakvi, Zeh and Mantkifis Raglov. The guy walks around, he's not looking where he's going, he bangs his toes into the wall. He's bumping into the wall. Porush Kazoi, because he's not caring. The guy himself, he's playing the role of this great tzaddik. He's looking down, he bangs his head into the wall, he gets injured. He's all bloody at the end of the day. Porush Meduchia, what's Meduchia? Meduchia is a mortar and pestle. Right? Omer Abba Shilo, the Meshapea, he's bent over. He's hunched. No, he walks all day like a guy who's really humble. Omer Rabbi Shila, the Meshapea Kibuchio, Meduchio. Porish Machovosi, Porses, right? He says, whatever my obligation, I'm ready to do it. Someone says, Hamal, you see, a man who has such a yearning to do the will of Hashem, just tell me what I have to do, I'm there. Elo di Omer Machavosi Su Veseno. Right? So what is it? The Gemara says it's not a person who's looking. Ma lasus od v'lo asisi umora atzmo kitlo kaimis. He says, what else is there to do? It's not that he's looking to do more. He says, I finished everything. Many years ago there was a guy who was not more in Skoma. So somebody, he was given he went to like to tell, this is in the 60s. So they asked him to prepare a piece of Gemara. About 15 minutes later, he says he's finished. So he said, so could you read it? He didn't even know what said on the page. I'm finished. You understand? He's finished. They wouldn't look at him. Okay? Wasn't even consideration to even consider him to go to tells. So he plays the role. I've already done it. What else is there to do? Porush mi'avu porush mi'yira. What's that? Omale abai v'rovo litano lo sisni porush mi'avu porush mi'yira. It should be deleted. Even though he does it, that Hashem should love him or Hashem shouldn't punish him. So that's lo shlo lishma. He's doing the mitzvah. Right. But he understands he has an obligation. But why is he able to do it? Because he wants Hashem to love him. So that's shlo lishma. But review the same name Rav Lo Yasuk Adam B'Torah Mitzvah shlo lishma. Shebetoch shlo shembol lishma. So what's so terrible? Why is he a mavli olam? Why is he one of the destroyers of the world? Omer Rav Nachman Yitzchok, the mitmur of mitmur and the galya galya. Beidino Rabo, Lispora Mahani, the Chofu Gundi. It's only outwardly he appears that he's the Oiv. A person who does it really sincerely because he's afraid he'll be punished by Hashem. So he's displaying Yiras Hashem. Person outwardly, he does mi'avo. He's doing mi'avo. But under wraps, the guy's rotten to the core. You understand that? He's doing it out of reverence, but under the garment, gundi, under his gundi, under his sari, what's under there? The man's a bad man. Omalo Yanai Malkul Advisek. Yanai killed all the Chachamim. So the Chachamim really hated him because he became a heretic. Yanai, we had this in Kedushin. Yanai Malko. He said to his wife, Al tisroi min aprushim. He said, you're not be concerned for the prushim. Because they're not going to do anything to you. Why? So Rashi says, Sha'prushim o yisonon oslov yishahorag min hachachomim harbe nebach lo stuki shemes hois ishto yireya be'en shlo yaviru hamlucha. They're going to take the kingdom away from our children. Voiso meres lo levakish mlefneim oleo. So he says, please speak to them. Omal al tisari min aprushim shet tzadikim heim. Hear this? That tzadikim. They're not going to do anything to you. They're going to leave you alone. The tzaddikim they're tzaddikim. And you're not be concerned from the ones in Aprushim because they're our friends. They're our allies. You got to be afraid of eliminat tzvuim. You have to be afraid of the first people who present themselves in one light, but there's something other than that. You hear this? Shedomim leprushim. Now this is a famous expression. Shemasei ma'aseh Zimri. Who was Zimri? Zimri is the one who cohabited with Cosby. Right? You hear this? They behave, they do actions as via la Zimri. But they want to be accredited as Pinchas. That he's the great tzaddik. You hear this? People, it's unbelievable. They come to shul. The guy pulled up with a cab outside. He has to change clang in his pocket with his wallet. The guy wants to get shlishi because it's his father's yard site. Where's the shame? Who do you think you are? So you do Ma'aseh Zimri, but you want what? You want Schar Pinchas. That's what you want. You want shlishi. You want maftir. Reb Shimon Oim, just take 2 moments. We'll just finish this. Ein schus toler b'mayim. Regardless of when the schus, a woman committed adultery, she dies immediately. Why? Schus toler b'mayim amorim. Because if you say mado atos amayim, you're actually blunting. Why? Because what's going to be? B'fnei kol hanoshim hashosos. Because all the women drinking, what are they going to say? Even the ones who didn't die, you know who they are. They're really adulteresses. They had a schus. That's the reason why they didn't die. Motzi shemer al toros. They say the ones who didn't die, really, they committed adultery. But so why are they alive? Therefore, Reb Shimon says, no, there's no such thing. A woman is guilty, she dies regardless of what kind of schus she has. Rebbe Yoma, no. It doesn't advance her health, as happens when she's innocent. Hear this? Her health begins deteriorating immediately. And ultimately, but the sofi meso bosa miso. But at the end of the day, it may take a year, make 2 years, 3 years, before eventually she's going to bloat and she's just going to fall apart. But initially, she's not going to thrive, but the duration process starts immediately. As a result of that, you'll immediately be able to see whether she's Torah or not. If she's Torah, she goes forward. Right? So therefore, people will be able to discern between, nobody's going to know Shemra on the women who did not commit adultery. 1 second. Nidma b'ntchoso. Achlo kitcha b'kli. They put the meal, they sanctify the flour, but they put it in the kli shores. Harik chol menochos v'tifte. It could be redeemed. Because since it doesn't have kedushas aguf, it only has kedushas damim, you redeem it. However, but once it was put in the kli shores, which means it has kedushas aguf, harik chol menochos v'sisoreif. To be continued.